Hey there, Sarah Ansboury here, coming to you from my home club, Palmetto Dunes, here in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And I got a wet day today, so I'm answering more of your member questions. So thank you again for all of you subscribers who sent in your questions. Do not hesitate to send in more. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love hearing from you to know what you want to hear. So I really like this question, this is a one-question video. Since a player is front-facing, okay, so meaning a forward, my body's facing towards the net, not body sideways, so meaning turn sideways. So this is kind of like as in tennis with your shoulders pointing in the direction of your target. So this is kind of our classic tennis player style, okay, and this is what it's referencing. Of your intended target. What are your tips for accurate, consistent ball placement? This is really, really important because one of the classic kind of ideas that people use from a tennis is, all right, if I'm going to turn sideways, I'm going to kind of finish, I'm going to point towards my target, kind of finish towards my target. That generates a lot of that. Now, that big difference is your contact point is on the side of your body, okay? In pickleball, everything in pickleball is contact out in front. So I think a lot of people end up getting just way too square, okay? They get locked up and I got to face that direction, but there's no engagement, okay, of the body. So essentially, one thing to always remember is I'm going to always try to not be square, okay? If I'm square, what that does is it locks me into position. It doesn't move me. So basically, if I'm tracking the ball, number one, so if my partner's got the ball over here, I'm kind of shifted this direction. If the ball is in front of me, I always think you're doing a little dance, okay? And for those of you who have focus problems, this is a big one, okay? It's staying engaged. We tend to get way too locked up. So if you're locked up and too square, we end up catching the ball behind us. That makes it ridiculously hard to control the direction of the ball, okay? So what's most important in pickleball? Pickleball is forward, 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 in front, in front, in front. If you remember those things, you're going to have better ball control. So when we're looking at our strike zone, okay, so if my body's kind of towards the net right now, let's say, okay, my contact point is way out here, okay? This naturally makes me higher. So a lot of players, they're making contact here, okay? So below the knees, and now they have to kind of flick it to get it to go to the direction they want to go. So what I always think about is I want to be above my knees as much as possible, okay? So I can make my contact and I can shift my weight towards my target. So the simplicity of pickleball, which is also difficult, is if I want a ball to go that direction, I'm going to point my paddle face that direction. So see how my weight shifts in that direction. If I want it to go over here, it's going to shift that direction. Same thing with a backhand. Okay, so a lot of players who get too square, they end up hitting their backhands like this, where their elbows are bent. So not only does this develop tennis elbow, but it's very, very hard to control the direction of the ball. Okay, so the simple way to think too is if I'm going to toss the ball that direction or that direction, that's where I want my body facing. That's where I want my paddle to finish. Okay, so when I'm going in, here's my dink, paddle's open, I want the ball to go here, that's my finish. Here, that's my finish. Okay, a very important thing to think about as well, follow through. Okay, so a lot of players hit the ball and they're like, I'm all done and I got to get ready. If I want a ball to go, I really want to finish, and I'm pretty much posing, okay? My shot doesn't finish until it ends on my opponent's side. Once it lands on my opponent's side, that's about when the shot's done. So that means I'm guiding the ball the entire time towards my target. Okay, so if I'm mid-court, it's the same thing. I really want, if I'm going this direction, my toes are going to face this direction. My toes are going to face this direction. So if I'm like this is very, very difficult, again, to manipulate the ball. Okay, as it gets higher, same kind of thing. Okay, we often hit and I'm done. If I want a ball to go right through that middle, I'm going to push it through the middle and stay. I want to hold as long as I possibly can. Number one, to make sure it goes to my target. Number two, I want to put a little more oomph on the ball. That's going to ensure that more power is happening. Instead of a poke, I want to push all the way through, making sure that my paddle is starting and finishing towards my target. That's the amazing thing. So if I'm going in a cross court, I'm not square front like this, because that makes it difficult. My toes are in this direction, so it enables me to point my paddle in front of me so I can guide and direct the ball in a much easier fashion. Okay, this is really important for you pickleball players out there, making sure your target is in line with your paddle. Okay, as always, subscribe below if you do not subscribe, and I always have more drills and lessons, much more in depth, at members.sarahansbury.com. Check out the link below.